Hey everybody, welcome to my beginner's guide for Apogea. If you're like me and you started the game and you're just not really sure what to do, I'm hoping that this video will help you because I really wish I had it when I first started playing. Now, first things first, you want to full screen your game. Shift, Alt, Enter is going to allow you to full screen because it's going to start without it. I don't know why, but just keep that in mind. So if you're not full screen already, that's how you do it. Again, it's Shift, Alt, Enter. Next, we're going to grab the chest here. It's going to give us a rusty sword and a key. We're going to go through the door down below and talk to the wounded soldier. You're going to want to look at the dialogue suggestions, and we're going to ask him, how can I leave this place? He's going to tell you to go to the chest. We're going to get a key, which is going to go to this door here. Now, something I want to do briefly mention is NPCs in this game, except for Wounded Soldier, which I didn't know till now, funny enough. You can do task in the bar, and it's going to default have the NPC to trigger a quest line for you. Technically, this wasn't considered a quest, which is why I thought it would work, but it didn't. And this is going to be used for pretty much every NPC in the game as you're going through, whether it be in the town areas or really wherever. You're going to use that task option in chat so you can quickly figure out what quests everybody has for you. I just wanted to put that out there. Now we're going to go ahead and go through this door here and head down this ladder. You can use the right mouse button to rotate your camera. And we are going to grab the hidden bag over here on the left hand side up the ladder using this chest. Now on the right hand side, you are going to go to the simple bag and it opens up an area below that you can drag to extend. Now bags will work inside of bags as well. So for example, we have this bag here. We could right click this and use the bag inside of our original bag. We are going to equip this instead. We are going to move this outside because right now it's inside of this bag. We're going to move it to our secondary hand slot. Then we are going to drop the brown bag because we don't need it anymore. And then move our blue bag up. Now we have our larger carrying capacity backpack. This game's storage works with carrying capacity, which you can see over here on the left hand side under details. This is going to tell you how much you can carry. You're not only limited by the slot space, you're also limited because every item has a weight to it. So for example, my rusty sword weighs 30 ounces, which is going to subtract from our total. This capacity number is the total number of weight that we have left over that we can equip or put into our backpack. Now that that's done, let's go ahead and head back down the ladder and talk to Maxwell, which is the NPC down below, who is able to heal you to half HP if you need it. And you can also ask him for quests. Now we're going to go ahead and type in task, and it's going to give us our next quest that's going to be added to the map. If we press M, you can see all quests here on the right hand side. And if you click this select button, it'll default and show you where you need to go. It's very helpful when you start to get a bunch of different quests that you have to do. Now for stats, I want to specifically talk about what you should do when you're leveling up. In my personal opinion, ability, which increases your weapon damage, HP regen, which increases how much you regenerate HP when you eat food, which by the way, eating food is your primary source of HP regen outside of skills that you can take, which I'll talk here in a minute, and capacity, because you need to be able to carry, because you're going to have a lot of weight with your armor and a lot of different items inside of your backpack. From what I've seen, at least to level 7 minimum, I take nothing but ability, HP regen, and capacity. Regen wants to be like at least 10, maybe even higher. And then again, ability and capacity are just really strong. Outside of that, I haven't made it quite past 7 yet. I have 2 characters there so far because I had 2 different servers I played on. But I can confidently say that these are very solid choices. For the trait tree, I'm going to recommend block efficiency and rooted guard. Rooted guard is insane because it means every time you get attacked, you're going to regenerate HP. This is especially useful if you go for the knight spec path. I think knight spec is the best currently for new players. You can also go rogue and wizard. Wizard sucks early game. You only want to take it later. You have to play with only squire until you get to that point, which might be a little bit hard for new players. And rogue with a bow is really bad early game as well. You really want to play it with just melee. So in my opinion, if you want the easier route, I think you go for Squire into Knight, and then take Block Efficiency and Rooted Guard. It makes your healing so much easier early game. And then, if you want to do some more experimentation later, feel free to try the other classes, but that's what I would personally recommend. Now it's time to move on. You're going to head to the first area where you can start to kill different mobs and get your first shield. You're going to go down this ladder, and here you're going to be able to fight rats and skeletons as well. There's a decent bit of area here that you can farm. Rats spawn here, down here in this little hallway as well. You saw those guys playing. Now you can stay here as long as you want to farm XP if you like. And there are going to be skeletons that spawn up north here in this little corner. It is dark, but there is a chest here if you can see it. Now that we've gotten our shield, why don't I go ahead and show you what it looks like when we kill a mob. So let's see if I can find a rat to show you. Okay, perfect. So if you press space, it's going to highlight the rat in red. This means that it's going to automatically default attack if you're near it. And then if you press right click... Oh, he stole my loot. Oh. Okay, well that leads me to something I want to say. There is auto-looting in this game, and it's a free-for-all loot. It's kind of funny that happened first thing. Let me see if I can loot this and show you. So after you kill a mob, you're going to right-click the bag, and then it's going to give you loot. If you play this, you have to go to game options and auto-press loot all. Otherwise, when players are near you, they're going to walk over the bag, so you can't click it, and they will steal your loot. I've heard the devs are going to address and fix this, but right now, this is your only defense from getting robbed of everything that you collect. So, go to game options, auto press loot all. Now, after we've done that and you've killed whatever you want to kill, I would recommend getting to at least level 2 personally. I'm not going to just for tutorial sake. We're going to head up north, and there is a little switch that you can grab that's going to lead us to our first town, where we can get a bunch of different quests. We're going to grab this little thing here. The rats spawn here as well if you want to farm those. There's a second ladder. And then once you go up top, you can finally head into the town where merchants will be. Remember you got that quest earlier too? You can go ahead and start completing your first quest that you got as well. Now, I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like. So we have information that Baldwin the blacksmith needed extra help. When you talk to any NPC, you're going to want to type in task. This is going to default make the NPC give you the storyline / quest line they have. And they're going to usually give you something, either they don't have anything for you, or they're going to say that, hey, they do have something. Are you willing to listen? Or some kind of wording of ask you if you want to accept the quest. NPCs have to be typed to in this game. It's something that I didn't understand at first, because the game doesn't really do any job of teaching you this. So you literally have to type in yes. You have to talk to the NPCs. So we do yes, and then our quest is accepted. This is going to be the case for most quests in the game. You have to look at what the quest is saying, or what the NPC is saying, and use keywords to continue questing. So for example, if person A, let's say this Baldwin guy wants me to talk to a different merchant, and he has a letter. If I go to the other merchant to talk to them, and I have to grab or talk to him about that letter, I have to go into the chat and type in letter, just as an example. You need to read what the quest says, and then use keywords from the quest, or you have to use the NPC's name. So if the NPC wants to talk about Baldwin, I have to type in Baldwin to those quests. It's a little bit confusing at first, but hopefully that information is enough to lead you into the right direction when you're starting to do quest lines for merchants. Because with no guidance, it was really, really confusing for me. So I hope that is enough to help you out. I really do. Now I want to go ahead and show you a central questing hub / merchant area where you can go to fill up your quest log here on the right hand side. And you can also grab very key essential quests that you're going to need. So we have math through here, and for example, you see this, can you teach me the sword? These are special quests there's 3 of them that are going to give you your spec, your knight, your rogue, and your wizard. So if we click this, then he's going to tell me an area that someone can teach me how to teach me the sword. So we have this here now, the learning the sword quest, and there's a knight over here. So if we go to this guy, we have the option to learn how to become a knight. Now, this is a permanent option. It is 100 gold when you accept one of these quests and you complete it at the NPC, the knight for this example, and it's going to affect your base stats. So I'll show that here in a second. First, let me go ahead and finish off showing out the town. So every single merchant here, you're going to want to talk to. If you're not sure if they have anything, you can always do task at a merchant, and you can see if they have anything for you. In this instance, he does not, so that's fine. You can also trade with them. You open up the trading hub, and if you want to see what stuff they're selling, you have to shift click the item and it'll show you what they're selling with the gold. If you want to sell something to the NPC, it has to be something that they're willing to buy based on what they sell. So if we had cloth vests, this guy would probably buy them from us and they would highlight in our inventory. Now, there's a few different stalls here. We have Rubius over here who can teach you magic. This is how you become a wizard. Same exact idea as the knight. It's going to give you a special quest. It's called Vocation Quest. That's how you know it's one of the specials. You can only do one of these quests because once you take it, you cannot change it for the rest of the game. And then there's a few other merchants here in the top as well. You have Meredith over here. Here we can ask if you have any task. Unfortunately, she does not have any tasks for us, so we'll go ahead and talk to Yaz. Remember, every single NPC has different items that they can buy and sell. And Yaz is going to be how we find the rogue spec. So we'll ask him to teach us a bow. And now we have 3 of the main quests that you're going to want. The rogue, the wizard, and the knight. We'll go ahead and talk to Marjorie here too, to see if she has any regular quests for us. We'll ask her task. Looks like, unfortunately, she does not have any either. So in this area specifically, the default quests, the normal ones aren't here, but the main story quests are. So this is going to be the first area that I'm going to personally recommend that you head to. And just so you can see what it looks like when you talk to one of these NPCs for the spec, I want to show you what it looks like because the stats are going to be directly affected for your character, and it's also going to cost gold. So while you're walking around, you can press M to open your map, and you can scroll bigger or smaller on the map. Keep in mind, the map is not going to be shown for you. It's going to be blacked out, so you have to walk past, and then it'll slowly open up. If you have multiple characters, previous characters will show what you have already previously found, which is why all of this is already seen, because I used this knight earlier to become a knight. So we're going to go ahead and go through this bridge, and I think this knight is here always day and night, but don't count me on that. I know he's always here during the day. Merchants are gone at night, so there's a day and night cycle, and there's a little thing in the top right corner that'll tell you if it's night, and the NPCs will go to sleep at night, so you won't be able to trade. Just keep that in mind if you're trying to buy or sell from them. So we're here with, what's it, Ulrich, and I can ask him to teach me the sword. Now this is going to allow me to become one of 3 specs, this one being the knight. So it's going to tell you what your stats are as squire, and it's all default stats. As a knight, you get extra ability, which is weapon damage, extra armor, defense, health, capacity, and HP regen. But you lose magic mana and magic regen. So there's always a plus side and a downside for every class. Now again, this is a permanent thing. The action is irreversible. You pay the 100 gold and you're like that for the rest of the game. I personally think knight is the easiest to choose, but you can also go for rogue early for melee. Don't use a bow early. It is not worth it. It's too expensive. And wizard is never worth it early. You only want to do wizard later in the game. Just start as a squire with a sword and shield, and level up for a bit until you swap. There are 2 final things that I want to talk about before I conclude this video. The first thing is going to be how to blacklist an item. If you look at an item and use control click, you're going to see sell and buy on trade. There is a trading system in this game. It does not automatically trade like an auction house. It is only a means to communicate with other players to buy and sell items. However, I want to talk about blacklisting, not just trading. After you do this, press Alt, and you're going to open up Blacklist. This is useful for items that are not useful. For example, a lot of different mobs will drop things like bones. Bones are very heavy, and they're not worth that much. So usually, most players drop them on the ground, and then they never end up getting used. It's good to blacklist because remember, you have to auto loot everything in this game. And every time you auto loot, you're constantly grabbing bones that you have to redrop. If you add it to the blacklist, then you don't ever have to worry about looting it again because the game physically will not let you loot it. And the last thing is this right here on the map, this big green building here next to the merchants where we were at earlier. This is going to be the bank. This is where you can store items that you're not using. So you can walk up to one of these chests. Any chest is fine. Then you can depot items that you're not currently using. And that is going to be everything that I wanted to talk about for this guide. I'm sure there's more out there that I could talk about. And maybe you have more questions. Feel free to leave them in the comments below if you do. If I have the answer, I'll try to answer them for you. If not, I'm sure you can go to the game's Discord channel. There's plenty of people there willing to answer. I just wanted to give a guide here because this game is very hard to get into. It's really confusing at the start, so I just felt like I had to make at least something. I thought of one extra bonus tip really fast. The shop that says it costs money to buy stuff, there is no real money spent for this playtest. It is a sandbox mode, so even though something might say that it costs money to buy, you will never have to pay anything. For example, the character slots, you only get one, you have to buy extra slots. I have all 4 slots and I never spent any money. So if you want to get any of this stuff just for testing purposes, you do not have to pay money for it. It is completely free. So just putting it out there. Thank you all for watching this guide. If you enjoyed it, give the video a like, sub for future content, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.